GLBO. Welcome back to my channel. So let's start right away. I made it back to the boat in May finally and hurried up to put her in the water as fast as I could, which I did. But just when I wanted to start with the loop, I was throwing off the lines of the boat, and in this moment the engine died. Thankfully not a minute later. So the engine died because there was water in the tanks, and due to the water bacteria, so I had to clean all of the filters and pump the water out. It took me 2 days, and then discovered a little water leak on the seawater pump. So I decided to buy a new seawater pump because, man, the Great Loop is 6,000 miles, and didn't want to run into problems. So this made me a delay of 1 week more or less. Meanwhile, playing some music in the boatyard, that was pretty cool, and finally set off to start with the loop 1st of June. Finally, I set off alone because Corina decided to take care of her ex-boyfriend's baby. Long story. She is going to be foster mom for the baby, and so she couldn't join the trip. In the beginning, I've been a little bit sad, but at the end it was really better because the weather was rough in the beginning, and she was always afraid not to get seasick, and that made room for my daughter and her mother to fly in, and Rick was coming too. So, but we come later to that point. So I started right here on the border of Florida, Georgia. Sailed all the way up the coast here, the Intracoastal Waterway, through marshlands and nice anchor places, and then came here a little bit more inside to Thunderbolt, and then finally running up here the Waccamaw River. And here's a bridge called Socastee Bridge, where a guy ran into the bridge. Meanwhile, it was opening. And dropped in the water and actually died. I'd just been a couple of hours later there, and the bridge was closed, so I got stuck for a couple of days until they could get the car out of the water. So I went into the marina, Osprey Marina, and met a guy there who had a really nice boat built nearly by himself. He let build the hull, but he wanted to give me a trial run, and so we drove up the river, up and down, and it was really nice. When the bridge finally opened, I hurried up a little bit to make it in time all the way up here until Elizabeth City, where the Dismal Swamp channel starts, because I had to pick up Sonja and Anna from Washington, and this is a 4.5 hours drive, so I wanted to make it until here. It's not so far to pick them up, which I actually did, and then we started from here together. So we started together in Elizabeth City, ran up the river here, come to the first lock and into the Dismal Swamp Canal, which was quite an experience due to snakes and a lot of logs we hit on the ground and overhanging trees. So I just been happy to get through this, and it's a never do again. So we went to Norfolk, into the town, and then made our way up here, the Chesapeake Bay, hitting little harbors, working our way up until Annapolis. I wanted to run into Annapolis because it's close to Washington Airport, and we wanted to stay a week here because it was Hannah's 16th birthday, and we celebrated this with Six Flags and jet ski riding, and we had a total blast. After a week, the girls flew home from Washington, and I would have been very, very sad if not. Next day, Rick flew in from Baltimore to Baltimore, and I picked him up from there. But see this in the next video, coming soon.